toxic. And the problem is no one really knows how toxic it is because an extensive full-scale investigation hasn't been completed.
It's such a beautiful area, and it's slowly being poisoned.
Any fisherman will tell you, from Rye, from the Mamaroneck up to Greenwich, they won't eat any fish caught there. It'll kill you. The water is that bad.
Something is killing Echo Bay, and Frank Mancuso says making him and his family sick.
I have symptoms of things of being related to toxic exposure. My children do. My daughter used to dig for bottles back here. She used to come by boat and actually find these old, beautiful blue-tainted bottles. And she has gotten rashes. And my youngest daughter, who was born on the site, has teeth that are fused together. She had a rash for months around her back. There's just all kinds of examples of strange things happening to all of the people associated with this site.
When Mancuso first came to Echo Bay, he had a dream, a vision of a marina filled with boats, his pockets lined with money. But instead, what he got was water filled with medical waste, oil, raw sewage, and garbage from illegal sewer connections.
Absolutely nothing lives here. None of the life forms that you expect, like clams and mussels and starfish and so forth.
Since Frank Mancuso bought a marina at Echo Bay in 1987, he's found dead birds, large fish kills, even a dead raccoon with what looks like a large tumor under its jaw. One of his dogs died from a tumor. His other dog got a tumor on its nose. His father-in-law, Bill, who actually lives on the site, developed a brain tumor. What Frank Mancuso didn't know is that just across from his new marina, hidden in the soil of a former Con Ed substation, was a deadly neighbor.
In conjunction with some volunteers from the Sierra Club, we've done about 50 soil samples, and they've come up with high levels of PCBs, much higher than what's allowed by DEC.
Frank Mancuso's problems began when he first bought the marina next to million-dollar homes. This abandoned Con Ed substation in the backyard of some of those homes was supposed to be turned into condominiums, according to the New Rochelle Revitalization Corporation. But when developers examined the site, they were shocked at what they found. Dangerously high levels of PCBs.
I was told by the people in City Hall that this was going to be a condominium site. And that I'd probably be renting all my space to the people that had condominiums here, all my slip space. And that's what I thought I was getting.
What did you get?
I got exposed to God knows what, and my family got exposed to God knows what, and I lost every penny I had in the world. I'm in debt for probably a couple of $1 million.
The massive substation was shut down in 1984, 3 years after a fire here. Since that time, the building is in a state of near collapse. Drums filled with waste sit rusting on the site. The basement of the building and the entire underground vault system is flooded.
So what we have here is a cable system that went through these ducts, I guess you would call them, or conduits, with oil and other fluids. We have reports that it has very high levels of PCBs.
This is basically PCB-contaminated oil that's in the ground, and it's just coming out of the site, and it's just migrating right into Long Island Sound.
Biologist Walter Hang, whose company Toxics Targeting has mapped over 80,000 polluted sites in downstate New York, calls the Con Ed substation one of the worst.
The authorities have actually monitored PCB contamination in people's backyards, and there's no question that this property has also affected Long Island Sound. So the people that are fishing in the Sound and swimming in the Sound and eating possibly other, clams that they've collected, they might all be exposed to contamination.
Because of the pollution mess, Frank Mancuso has now lost his marina to the city of New Rochelle because of unpaid back taxes. He's currently suing the city and Con Ed for $66 million. Con Ed claims it has a cleanup plan in the works, but a full decade after shutting down the substation, Mancuso and his attorneys say very little has been done by the utility and the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Incidentally, that state watchdog group is now suing Con Edison for $20 million for its failure to clean up pollution problems right here in New York City. And tomorrow night we're going to have some more on this incredible story.
It is incredible. It's almost unbelievable. Thanks, Clint.
Thank you.